get used to it. But at first, it felt as if there'd been an earthquake. I suppose I'd better get on.
What are you fussing about the dust for on Sunday morning? I cleaned this room thoroughly only yesterday.
Yes, Joe, I know you did. But you forget that Aunt Mark said that she would call on her way home from morning service to see how we were getting on. I'm just not going to give them the chance to say we aren't looking after things properly.
And if there's a speck of dust anywhere, she'll spot it. Oh, fiddlesticks to Aunt March. I can't see that it matters to her. We're all knee deep in dust.
It matters to me. How are you getting on with the weekly dispatch to Washington?
I've only a few more lines to write when you can plan your installment. I've told Mari how thrilled we are that Father's at last gaining strength. Though it made me absolutely bilious to see the way Mr. Brooks used to look around June for another way. It was a real shock to telegraph us the minute Father took a turn for the better.
He's so thoughtful. And what a help he's been to Mother and Father. You know, Joe, when I saw him standing beside Margie just before they went away, he looked so strong and sensible and kind that he reminded me of Mr. Greathorn in Pilgrim's Progress.
Oh, Christmas. Never bring his name up. There, I'm done. So I got on the dustbin while you write your messages.
Where's Beth? She said she was going to come and help Hannah and me do the vegetables.
She went to call on Hummels after service this morning. I don't believe she's back yet.
But I think she is, for I heard her come in some time ago. But I don't know what's happened to her since then.
I expect she's busy upstairs then.
Beth? Beth?
I hope Beth is all right. She's not been looking very well these past few days. I'm afraid she's been doing too much since Mother went away. But she's always so anxious to help and do what she calls her fair share.
The trouble is, she does a good deal more than her fair share. And a great many other things as well. The Hummels, for instance. She visits them regularly.
Yes, the Hummels. You know, Joe, we promised Mother we wouldn't forget them. And that we would visit them, especially when the cold weather came. I believe Beth is the only one of us who has kept that promise.
Well, there's always so much work to do at home here, besides ordinary work.
Mother always found time to spare for them. And Beth has been just as busy as the rest of us. She did ask me to go with her sometime last week. She said something about the baby not being well and not being sure what to do for it. I was trying to finish up my new dress, and I said I couldn't manage to go just then.
Yes, she told me the baby was poorly. The eldest child, Lochin, looks after it while Mrs. Hummel goes out to work.
But she's only 12, and has all the other children to care for as well.
Yes. Maybe we should go tomorrow and see what we can do to help. I wonder if... Christopher Columbus, Beth, what's the matter?
You both had scarlet fever, haven't you?
Yes, years ago. Why, Beth, aren't you well, dear?
The baby. Mrs. Hummel's poor little baby. It's dead.
Dead?
Died in my lap about an hour ago while I was nursing it.
Oh, my poor dear. I'm dreadful for you. Meg, why didn't one of us go?
As soon as I got there, I saw in a minute before the night was worse. Latchin said her mother had gone to the doctor. Two of the other children were sick as well, so I asked her to nurse it while she attended to them. And all of a sudden, it gave a little cry. And then it lay very still. Latchin tried to warm its feet, and I gave it some milk. But it didn't stir. And then I knew it must be dead.
Don't cry, dear. What did you do?
I just sat and held the little body until Mrs. Hummel came to the doctor. He examined it and said that the cause of death was scarlet fever, and he should have been called sooner. Mrs. Hummel said she was poor and tried to cure the baby herself. And then suddenly he told me to go home. Thinks I may have cried too.
Beth, if you should be sick, I never could forgive myself. Meg, what should we do?
If only Mother were at home. You've been in to see the baby several times this last week, haven't you, Beth? And among the other children, they probably don't have the fever too. I'm afraid it's quite likely you'll come down with it, dear. I'm going to call Hannah. She nursed Joe and me through it, and she'll know what to do.
Don't let Amy come in here. I've never had it, and I should hate to pass it on to her. Are you quite sure you can't have it over?
I don't think so. And anyway, I don't care if I do. Serve me right, selfish pig. Let you get out to the Hummels all alone, and all I was doing was writing rubbish upstairs.
You mustn't say that, Joe. It's not rubbish. Your stories are being published now. I think I'll go upstairs for a while.
Are you feeling worse, Peg?
I feel rather hot, and my head aches so. I should get a lie down.
Land's sakes, child. Why didn't you tell me before that she was feeling ill?
She's gone to bed, Hannah.
That's the best thing to do. And I've told Miss Meg that if you get the fever, we'd best pack Amy off to your Aunt Molly. Keep her out of harm's way.
Come on, my lamb. Up to bed with you. All right, Hannah, I'll see you this.
Steady on there, Joe. What's going on?
You've had scarlet fever, haven't you? I remember you telling me you had it when you were very young.
Yes, why should
It's
you
bad. I think you may have caught it. But I don't take any chances of passing it on.
I'm sorry. What can I do to help?
Nothing at the moment, but if it's as bad as we fear, Amy's going to stay with Aunt March until Beth is better. Meg's out in the kitchen, breaking the news to her now. If I know Amy, Meg won't have an easy task. Aunt March petrified her. Why, Amy thinks a lot of it, takes notice of what you say. Please try to make her see that it's only for her own good if we send her away.
Well, I'll try to
There's my door. I'm just go upstairs and help Hannah. You wait here in case you need it.
No, Meg, no. I'd rather have the fever 10 times over than go to stay with Aunt March.
But my dear, if Beth is really ill, then we should be busy nursing her. And it would be of no use to anyone if you were sick too.
I don't wish to be sent off as if I was in the way. Besides, it's always so horrid at Aunt March's, with her rules and orders and things to do, and lectures on how one should be paid. And I should have to do all the things that Joe does, like feeding that awful parrot. It screams and pecks at my hair whenever I go near it, and I cannot endure her fat little beast of a dog either, for it snarls and yelps whenever it sees me. And the cook is so bad-tempered, I dare not go near the kitchen, and the coachman
Whoa! There is no need to go on and on and on. We realize you don't really relish staying that much. But you must be sensible and do what the others tell you. You don't want to be sick doing this.
No, I'm sure I don't, but I dare say I shall be, for I've been with Beth all the time.
That is the very reason you should go away at once. For change of air will keep you well. Scarlet fever is no joke, miss.
But everything is so grim at Aunt March's. It's just like orphans in the underworld.
Tell me what I'll do. If you go and stay with that March, I will come and visit you every day. Now that won't be so bad, will it? With me popping in and out, telling you how Beth is, and I'll bet you out driving or walking. And the old lady, you know, she likes me, and I'll be as sweet as possible to her to make things easier for you.
Would you take me out in the trotting wagon with the new pony?
On my honor as a gentleman.
And come every single day?
See if I don't.
And bring me back the minute Beth is well?
The identical minute.
And perhaps take me to the theater?
A dozen theaters if necessary.
All right then. If Beth is really ill, then I'll go.
Good girl.
Thank you, Laurie. Now, Amy, I'm off to fetch the doctor. I think the sooner Beth is under his care, the better. Aunt March will be here shortly, so please be a good girl and do as you're asked.
Thank you, Laurie. You're a real trouble.
How's Beth?
I think she feels a little better now that she's lying down. The baby's death has upset her a good deal, poor dear. Her trying always. Soon we're out of one trouble and down comes another. I've nothing to hold on to when Mommy's not here, so I'm all at sea.
Well, haul in your topsails, Joe, and tell me if I should telegraph to her.
That's what troubles me. I think we ought to tell her if Beth is really ill. But Hannah says we mustn't, but she can't leave Father just yet. It'll only make her worry. Mommy told us to mind what Hannah says. So I suppose we must, but it doesn't seem quite right to me.
Well, I don't know really what to say. Suppose I speak to Grandfather after that complete.
Yes, that seems a sensible thing to do. All right, be a dear. Do you want my good turn for us today?
Yours to command, ma'am.
Stay in pledge, Madam March, till when she arrives, so that she'll be discreet about having Amy. I'm off to pack a few things for you, Amy, so that you'll be ready to go back with Aunt March if it's necessary. Remember your promise now, Amy.
Well, everyone seems to have decided that I should have to go and stay with Aunt March. And if I do, no one knows what may happen to me there. So, I think I better give you my will.
Your what?
My will. My last will and testament. I drew it a while ago and put it in my drawing book for safekeeping.
Do you really think that is necessary, Amy?
Life is uncertain, and I don't want any ill feeling over my future.
But why give it to me?
I want you to check it through and see if it's legal and right, and then to witness it for me.
Ah, Amy Curtis March, being in sane mind and in full possession of all my senses, do hereby and from henceforth give and bequeath all my earthly property. in the
I
same name.
don't think it should be read aloud until after I'm dead.
To my sister, Margaret, I leave my turquoise ring. Are you sure you spelled turquoise with a K?
I wouldn't have given it to you if I thought you were going to pick it full of holes. You'll be sorry after I'm gone. I suppose all that is necessary is for you to witness my signature. And now, having disposed of my most valuable property, I hope all will be satisfied and not blame the dead. I forgive everyone and trust we may all meet when the last trump shall sound. Amen. To this will and testament, I set my hand and seal on this 20th day of November, Annie Domino, 1861. Amy Curtis March. Now, Laurie, you just sign your name right below mine. Don't people put sort of postscripts on their wills?
Yes, codicils they call them.
Put one on mine then. That I wish all my curls to be cut off and to given around to my friends. I want it done, though it will spoil my looks.
What's that I hear? You're going to have all your curls cut off, like that muddle-headed sister of yours. Heavens forbid. This sort of thing continues, it'll turn into a convict settlement.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We didn't hear you ring.
Ring? Ring, young man? What is the purpose of my ringing? There's sickness in the house. There's no point in setting up a great jungle of bells every 5 minutes. I just walk straight in.
When, March? Come.
I've just seen your sister Meg. She came prancing and jumping about in front of the carriage like a demented dervish. Frightened the coachman out of his wits. No wonder the horses didn't bolt. Just off for the doctor, she tells me. What's this all about Beth having the scarlet fever?
Yes, we're not sure, but we think she may have caught it.
Wouldn't surprise me if she has. If you will go poking about amongst the poor folks. I was always telling your mother the same thing, but she never took any notice. Oh, Master Lawrence, what are you doing here? And Amy, moping about as usual, I see.
We're worried about Amy. See, she hasn't had the fever. And we wonder if she might come and stay with you until it's all over.
Well, I suppose she can, as long as she makes herself useful and she isn't sick. I've no doubt that she will be. And stop snivelling, child. I can't bear it when you make that noise.
Thank you very much. Such a relief that Amy will be taken care of.
Yes, well, you'll be needed here to look after and care for your sister. Amy can take on some of your tasks. And I'm not at all sure that she won't do them a great deal better. In fact, she's very fond of my doggy looking at them.
But Aunt March, they're always so horrible and nasty.
What do you hear from your mother?
Father's much better, I'm glad to say.
Oh, that won't last long. March never did have any stamina. And now that they've gone off to Washington,
I hope you'll have no objections, ma'am. If I come and visit Amy while she's staying with you, I'll be able to take her out driving or walking and give her information of how Beth is getting on.
oh, well, it seems to me you have it all arranged. I'm not sure if it would be quite proper for her to be gadding about with a rattle-pated boy while she's in my care. What goes on here is, of course, another matter.
There's no doubt, Mum, that Miss Beth has the scarlatina. I've seen them symptoms afore. And the sooner we get Miss Amy out of this house, the better, just to be on the safe side. I must get some warm water to bathe that poor babby upstairs.
And March, I hope I don't inconvenience you too greatly.
It seems that everything was very neatly planned long before I arrived. So let us not discuss, miss, what is or is not convenient to me. Look, you see that Beth has everything she needs. Tell the doctor he may send the girl to me. Stop snivelling, child. Come along. Sunday may be a day of rest, but we may not give ourselves over entirely to pleasure-seeking and self-indulgence.
Yes, he's upstairs now. You told me to come down and rest while he was down in bed. How can I rest when she's up there? Why doesn't he do something to make her better?
He's been doing all he can, and now he's coming in twice a day. We can't expect any more, and you can't go on like this. You've hardly closed your eyes for 3 days now.
I can't leave her now. When you've been out, she's been worse. Tossing about, talking in that hoarse, broken voice. Even trying to sing. Her little hands, laying on her cupboard, as if it was her little piano. How she knew it when we spoke to her. And worst of all, she's calling out imploringly for Mommy.
I can't help thinking we should have called for Mother earlier. But Hannah's been so adamant about not worrying her or Father.
How dark the days seem now. The house seems even sadder and lonelier than ever.
It's bitterly cold outside. I think we shall have snow later. I mailed the letter to Mother, but I feel so guilty writing to her as if nothing were wrong and not mentioning Beth's illness.
Meg, it doesn't seem so long ago that we were complaining about every little hardship. Now here we are with so much that we hold dear, hanging in the balance.
Hannah, what is it?
The doctor thinks your ma should be sent for.
She isn't, she hasn't.
The poor little lamb, she's about as ill as she can be. She's taken a turn for the worse today. The doctor ain't sure which way it might go, but he thinks she'll reach some sort of a crisis within the next hour or so.
We can't just sit here.
There's nothing we can do until that crisis comes. It's a sort of battle she has to fight all by herself. The doctor, he's given us some sort of powder and he wants to sit with her a while until it takes effect. I came down to collect that telegram that we wrote out to send to your ma in case it was needed. The doctor, he said he'll take it into the telegraph office on his way home. He thought it would save us a journey on such a cold night. I'm sorry, my dears. I was wrong. I was wrong. We should have sent for your ma when you wanted to, but I just thought your pa needed her nursing for as long as possible. And now, I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe I'm too late.
Oh, Hannah, dear, don't. You only did what you thought was best. Come, let's go and see if the doctor needs anything.
Life is often as hard as this. I'm so glad to get through it.
I wish I had the hope.
God spares Beth. I'll never complain again, ever, I promise.
Hello, Joe. What's the news? I saw the doctor arrive earlier, but I can't wait any longer.
The doctor thinks Mother should be seen for.
It's not as bad as that, is it?
Yes, it is, Laurie. She doesn't know us. She doesn't even look like my Beth anymore. I was known her Elvis Barrett, Mother and Father on here. God seems so far away. I can't find him.
It's okay, Joe. Hold on to me. I'm here.
Thank you, Laurie. I'm much better. I'll try to bear it if it comes.
Poor girl. You look worn out. It's not like you to be so funny. Stop. I'll just think to cheer you up. A simple wine will warm you up and cheer you up, and soon your mother will be here. And everything will be all right.
I'm so glad that Father's at last a little better. Army won't feel so bad about leaving him. He's not yet well enough to make the journey himself. To have Mom home again would be absolutely wonderful.
Don't drink it.
Let's drink health and swift recovery to Beth.
To that.
Thank you, Laurie. You're such a good doctor and such a comfortable friend.
Thanks for those few kind words, Joe, but I haven't finished my treatment yet. I have some news to warm the carcass of your heart better than a quart of wine.
What is it?
I telegraphed to your mother yesterday, and Brooke answered. She's going to be here tonight. Perhaps in the next 10 minutes if the train's on time. It was due on the hour. Grandfather's gone to the station to meet her. Well, I came to break the news to you. Aren't you glad that I did it?
Oh, Laurie, I'm so glad. You're here tonight just when you needed the most. Goodness, I'm so sorry. That was dreadful of me. She's so thrilled by news. She's so thrilled by news that I couldn't help flying at you. Tell me about it, and I don't think I'd better have any more of that wine. It makes me act so stupid.
Didn't seem stupid to me. I probably one bit. You see, Grandfather and I got very uneasy when Beth seemed to be no better. We never ourselves if she, what if anything happened? So, yesterday, I told Grandfather it was high time to do something about it. And off I went to telegraph to Washington.
Laura, you're an angel. How shall I ever thank you?
Well, you can fly me once again, all right?
Laura, that will do. I'll do my proxy when your grandfather gets here. Oh, Meg, isn't it wonderful? Laura's already telegraphed Marty. She'll be... Meg, what is it?
I don't know. I can't tell. Hannah and I were talking quietly by the fire. And we heard a little sound from the bed. We went over and
Yes,
the feverish flush and pain had gone. Her little face looked so pale and peaceful. I sort of let her repose. Then I got frightened. I had to go around.
It's over. It's over. I can hardly believe it's happened. The fever's turned. She's going to be all right. Praise be given. She's breathing natural and her skin's damp and she's sleeping easy. Oh, praise be given. She's going to be all right. I must get back upstairs, but I'd like to come and tell you. She's going to be all right.
And when she wakes, Mother will be here to greet her. Listen, it's the carriage.
She's here! She's home again!
Ding dong merrily on high, in heaven the bells are ringing. Ding dong merrily the sky is riven with angels singing. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis. Gloria, Hosanna in excelsis.
Oh, Mother, please let's do our shepherd's watch.
No, Meg, let's have good King Wenceslas.
We three kings.
No, girls, no more now. We'll sing again later. You've given Beth a little concert of carols for Christmas morning. Now we must think about Christmas dinner. Or I guess we'll be here before we're ready.
Oh, that's a fine fat turkey the old gentleman sent in and no mistake. Brought you the glasses, Mum, but they need a polishing. I'll bring the fruit punch in as soon as it's ready.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. Joe and I will see to the polishing.
Thank you.
Oh, no. I guess they're here already. Oh, Amy, dear, do let them in, will you? And then perhaps you go and help Beth. Meg,
Christmas, Miss Alarm.
I'm sure that Hannah could do some help in the kitchen. Of course, Mother. You help here, Joe. Do come in, Mr. Lawrence, Laurie. Very happy Christmas to you both. Thank you for the many kind gifts you sent over this morning.
My pleasure, ma'am, I do assure you. The compliments of the season to you, ma'am. And to you too, young woman.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. March. Merry Christmas, Joe.
Special poem for the festive season. God bless you, jolly gentlemen. May nothing you dismay, but health and peace and happiness be yours this Christmas day.
Poems and carols. Goodness me, we could hear you singing before we left the house.
Dear.
So welcoming for your guests.
The carols were really only meant for Beth's ears.
How is our little convalescent?
Oh, she's improving daily. She stayed in bed this morning so that she might be strong enough to join us for Christmas dinner. And now she knows you're here, I'm sure she'll want to get up immediately.
May we perhaps go up to her?
Oh, she'd be delighted. Perhaps you and Lauren would be kind enough to bring her down.
We specialize in conveying pretty invalids.
We will take the greatest care, ma'am.
I know she couldn't be in safer hands. Come, Joe, you help me do the glasses.
Well, Laurie, Mr. Lawrence here. It's going to be a real family dinner, isn't it? If only Father had been well enough to come home, then it would have been absolutely perfect.
Well, in his last letter, he speaks hopefully of coming home early in the new year. And now the weather's turned so mild, it will encourage him. So we shall have that to look forward to.
I suppose Mr. Brooke will be coming with him?
Oh, yes, of course, dear, wherever not. He stayed to nurse your father where I had to leave off. He wouldn't dream of letting him make the journey alone.
No, I'm grateful to him for all he's done. It's just that,
What is it, Joe? Is this about Meg?
how quickly you guessed. Mommy, it all started last New Year's Eve at that party we went to. Meg lost a glove that evening, and although Laurie searched everywhere, it was never found. And do you know what happened to it?
I might guess, but you tell me, Joe.
Mr. Brooke had picked it up and carried it around in his pocket. Laurie told me that it fell out with some papers one day when he was at lessons with Mrs. Brooke. Of course, Laurie joked him about it, and he owned that he liked Meg, but that he didn't dare say so. He has such few prospects and little money.
I see.
When he went away, I thought that might put an end to it all. He's coming back. Isn't it a dreadful state of things?
Do you think Meg cares for you?
I don't know anything about love and such nonsense. But in the books, the girls always show it by starting, fainting and blushing, growing thin, generally acting like fools. They just do any of those things.
Then you fancy that she's not interested in John.
Who?
Mrs. Brooke. I call him John now. We fell into the way of doing so at the hospital. He likes him.
You'll take his part. He's been good to Father, so you have to send him away. Let him marry Meg if he wants.
Now don't get hot-headed about it, John. He was perfectly open and honourable about Meg. He told us that he loved her, but that he would earn enough to give her a comfortable home before he asked her to marry him.
I knew there was mischief brewing. I felt it. It's far worse than I imagined.
When John comes back and I see them together, then I'll be able to judge her feelings towards him.
She'll look into those handsome blue eyes she's always talking about. And I'll be all up with her. She'll go get married, and I'll be the end of peace and good times and fun together. There'll be a love ring around the house, and we'll have to dodge them. I can see it all.
Well, if it is any consolation to you, Joe, your father and I have already decided that Meg should not commit herself for a year or so. She's very young. And if she and John love one another, well, they can wait and test that love by doing so.
Wouldn't you rather she married a rich man?
And you know my feelings on that, Joe. No, I'm content for Meg to begin humbly. For if I'm not mistaken, she will be rich in the possession of a very good man's heart. And that's better than any fortune.
I suppose so, but I'm disappointed about Meg. If I'd planned to have her marry Laurie by and by, she'd have a lap of luxury all of her days. Wouldn't that be nice?
Don't make plans for others, Joe. Let time and their own hearts guide your friends and your family.
But Laurie's rich and good and generous and loves all of us. I say it's a great pity my plan is spoiled. There's very few flowers on our heads to keep us from growing up, but buds bloom into roses, I suppose, and kittens grow into cats, more's the pity.
What's that about flat irons and cats?
Oh, nothing, just more of my nonsense. Does Henry need any more help in the kitchen?
No, it's all done now, thank you.
Here's the rest of our party. Oh, Beth, you're looking so much better today. Are you warm enough, my dear?
You comfortable, are you?
Oh yes, thank you. It's just so lovely to be down here with everyone. I thought after the carols you might forget me.
As if we could ever do that.
Land's sakes, child, you're never out of our thoughts.
Oh, Marmy, I'm so full of happiness. I don't think we could hope one drop more.
Dear Queen Bess, as the fairest turtle dove in this family of partridges, we dedicate this ancient magic to you.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me
3 French hens,
2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds,
3 French hens,
2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Why, John, I mean Mr. Brooke.
Bless my soul. It's Brooke. What are you doing here, man?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I bring a special Christmas present for the March family.
We're buying time for Christmas dinner.
Father, you're home! Christopher Columbus, what a marvelous present!
how are you?
Oh, sir.
Oh, I can hardly believe that I'm really back home again. So often I've thought about arriving and surprising you all on Christmas Day, but it seemed a very remote possibility. When the weather turned finer a few days ago, the doctor thought I might take advantage of it and make the journey. So we made some hurried arrangements, and here we are.
Oh, it makes it just the happiest Christmas we could have hoped for, doesn't it, girls?
Well, you may thank John for really making it happen.
Oh, I don't know, sir. I did.
Oh, I know, John. You were the one who really did make it happen because I couldn't have made the journey alone. It is due entirely to your efforts that we are here now. I don't know what I would have done without him these past few months, for he has been devoted to me. You won't like hearing me say it, I know, but you are altogether a most estimable young man.
That is true indeed. We owe you a great debt of gratitude, John. Oh, you must both be famished after your long journey. I think dinner's nearly ready.
Oh, land sakes, Mum, the turkey. I must go and baste it before he dies of thirst in the oven.
Mommy, please don't face a turkey. I do it every year, and it's such a special Christmas. I just hate to miss doing it.
I don't know, Beth. You must take things very quietly and let us wait on you.
Oh, I don't suppose that small task will be too exhausting. We'll all go. Beth can sit in Hannah's rocking chair by the fire and superintend everything. Come, Mr. Lawrence, Laurie, John, join us. That turkey's in for the basting of its life.
Well, now let's go and make 2 more places at the table. Joe, dear, I'm afraid you must resign yourself to the fact that Meg does not already love John. I think she will very soon learn to.
Aren't you going to join us, Joe? There won't be room for all of us in the kitchen. I'll stay and tidy up in here. Anyway, right now I hate estimable young man with handsome blue eyes. I suppose you must be grateful to your John for bringing your father home?
Don't call him my John. It isn't proper. It doesn't happen to be true.
You certainly act as though you'd rather like it to be. It was nauseating the way you two were looking at each other just now.
Oh, really, Joe?
I'm sorry to plague you, Meg. I do hate all this uncertainty. If you mean to accept that man, then for goodness sake, make haste and have it over with.
I can't say or do anything until he speaks, now can I?
If you would know what to say if he did, you'd cry or blush and give in to him rather than giving a good decided no.
I have it all planned out, so that I needn't be taken unawares. There's no knowing what may happen, and I wish to be prepared.
Would you mind telling me what she said?
Of course not, for my experience may help you by and by in your own affairs of this sort.
I don't mean to have any. It's bad enough to have to watch other people. I should feel a price full doing it myself.
I think not. If you like someone very much, and he liked you,
I thought you were going to tell me what you had in mind to say to that man.
I should merely say, quite calmly and decidedly, thank you, Mr. Brooke. You are very kind, but I agree with Father, that I should not enter into any engagement just at present. So please say no more, but let us be friends, as we were.
Well, that's stiff and cool enough. I don't believe you'll ever say it. I know he wouldn't accept if you did. He'd go on like one of those rejected lovers in books, and you'd give in to him rather than hurt his feelings.
No, I won't. I shall tell him I've made up my mind and walk out of the room with dignity.
Oh, Mr. Brooke, do come in and sit down.
Thank you. I hope I don't intrude.
Not at all, Mr. Brooke. Come at just the right moment. I'm just going to help Marmee in the dining room, but I'm sure the Meg will be glad for your company.
Please don't go. Are you afraid of me, Martha?
Well, how can I be afraid when you've been so kind to Mother and Father? I only wish I could thank you for it.
Shall I tell you how?
Oh, no, please don't.
I only want to know if you care for me a little. You see, I love you so much, Meg.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind, but I don't know that...
Will you try to find out? For I can't go to work with any heart until I know just what your feelings are for me.
I'm not sure.
I'll wait. And in the meantime, you could be learning to love me. Would you find that a very hard lesson, Meg?
If I choose to learn, but
Please choose to learn. Please choose to learn. I love to teach. And this would be so much easier in German.
no. I think it would be better if we remained just friends, as we were.
But Meg, do you really mean...
Please, I don't want to say any more for the moment. I think... And March.
Yes, Aunt March. My maid saw your father coming out of the railroad station not an hour since. I just jumped into my carriage and came straight over here. Since when have we been entertaining soldiers in this house?
This is Father's friend. March, I'm so surprised to see you.
That's evident. And what has Father's friend been saying to you to make you look like a peony? There's mischief going on here, and I insist upon knowing what it is.
We're just talking. I think perhaps Father needs you, Mr. Brooke.
Brooke? That boy's tutor. I know all about it. Jo blundered into a wrong message when she was reading one of your father's letters to me, and I made her tell me the rest. You haven't gone and accepted him, child.
She'll hear. I'll let Mother know that you've come.
No, stay right where you are. I have something to say to you, and I must free my mind on the matter at once. Do you mean to marry this hook? If you do, not one penny of my money will ever come to you.
I shall marry whom I please, Aunt March, and you may leave your money to anyone you like.
Highly-tidy. Wait until you've tried love in a cottage and found it to be a failure. There's no happiness to be found in poverty, miss.
And does everyone find it with wealth, Aunt March?
Now, be reasonable. You want to marry well and help your family. It's your duty to make a rich match. It ought to be impressed upon
Well,
you.
Father and Mother don't think so. They like John even if he is poor.
They have no more sense than my carriage horses.
I can understand a lot of it.
This Brooke, he has no rich relations to help him, has he?
No, but he has many warm friends.
Oh, you can't live off friends, no matter how warm they'll be. Try it and see how cool they'll grow. What prospects has he?
None yet, but Mr. Lawrence has promised to help him.
Oh, that won't last long. Mr. Lawrence is a crotchety old man and not to be depended upon. So, you mean to marry a man without money, position, or prospects? I'm surprised at you, miss. I thought you had more about you.
I couldn't do better if I waited half my life. God is good and wise and talented. He's willing to work and is sure to get on. Everyone likes and respects him, and I'm proud to think that he cares for me, even though I'm poor and young and inexperienced.
He knows that you have rich relations. That's the secret of his liking, I know.
And March, how dare you say such a thing? John is above such meanness, and I won't allow anyone to suggest otherwise. My John wouldn't marry for money any more than I would. We are both willing
and you have lost more than you know by this act of folly. You have upset and disappointed me. I have no heart to speak to your father now, and you may tell him so. And don't expect anything from me when you are married. Your Mr. Crook's warm friends must take care of you. I've done with you forever.
I couldn't help hearing, Meg. Thank you for defending me. I'm very grateful to you, Aunt March, for proving you do care for me a little.
I didn't know just how much until she abused you.
Then you don't think you find your new lesson so difficult after all?
No, John.
Would you say that you love me, Meg?
I love you, John.
Father, mother, somebody come quick! John, Meg likes it!
Every word is finished. But Father wouldn't let us come in. He said things would work themselves out for the best.
Meg, you know you have my warmest blessing. John, you don't know how happy this makes me.
My dear Brooke, many congratulations. You are a very fortunate young fellow. My very best to you both. To think that through his coming to us, this charming romance is brought about.
Oh, Hannah, isn't it exciting? Meg and Mr. Brooke are engaged to be married.
My, that Aunt March of yours, she's a tiresome old torment. But you stood up to her something prouder, Miss Meg. Well, my lamb, I came here to nurse you as a baby, and I've seen you grow into a fine young woman. And I'm as pleased for you today as I possibly could be. And if this young man of yours don't treat you proper, you just let me know, and I'll be after him with my carpet beat.
I hope there'll never be any need for you to resort to that, Hannah.
So do I, Mr. John Brooke. I'm a bit hard.
Oh, Meg, when are we going to have the wedding? Oh, well, what about next week, Thursday?
Amy, you mustn't let your enthusiasm for excitement run away with you. I rather think it will be a year or so yet before you will be able to start planning your sister's wedding.
A year? Oh, but that's an age away. A wedding next week would have been such fun. Things were always so dreadfully dull just after Christmas.
For the future, Mrs. John Brooke. I knew Brooke would have his own way. He always does. When he wants to accomplish something, even if the sky falls, it's done.
I'm much obliged for that recommendation. I take it as a good omen for the future, and I invite you to the wedding here and now.
I shall come, even if at the end of the earth. But Joe's face on that occasion will be worth the journey.
Where is Joe?
She's in the kitchen. I've been trying to cheer her up, but she told me to leave her by herself. Ah, here is the good lady. You don't look very festive. Pray, what is them now?
I'm still unapproved of the match, but I've made my mind to bear it and not say we're against it.
Make the best of it, Joe. Not all that bad.
Margaret, my little women, dear friends, faithful Hannah, I give you a Christmas toast to peace, to the family, and this hearth and home, to lovers, to friendship. In most families, there comes now and then a year full of events, and this has been such a one for us. The joys have come close upon the anxieties, but it ends well after all. So let us drink to Christmas and the future.
To Christmas, amen to that.
being dismal, Joe. Maggie's happy. Work will fly around and they'll get settled down soon enough. Grandfather will help. Don't you think it'd be splendid to see Meg in a little house of her own?
I suppose so. It's so hard to give her up. I feel as though I've lost my dearest friend.
But you don't have to give her up. You only have to go halves. Besides, you've got me. I know I'm not good for much, but I'll stand by you all the days of my life. I promise I will.
I love you, Barbie. You're such comfort to me.
Then just think of all the good times to come. Don't you sometimes wish you could take a look into the future?
I think not, for I might see something sad. And everyone looks so happy now. I don't believe things can be very much improved.